Lesson 7.5 is about percent of change. We must always begin with some original amount. Let's start with 60. Before we discuss changing amounts, let's figure out what the percentages are of 60. How much is 100% of 60? It's going to be the whole thing. What do we mean by 50% of 60? Simply half of it. 25% is just a quarter. 10% is just a tenth, etc. We could do this for all percents of 60. What happens if my number changes? Say it grows and becomes a new number, like 75. Well, first, how much did it change by? In this case, it went up by 15. So now the question is, what percent did it change by? Which brings us to a very important question. Percent of what? For us, in this chapter, the answer will always be the original. We always mean the percent of the original that it changed by. So, what percent of the original did it change by? Well, 15 was just 25% of the original. So, going from 60 to 75 was a 25% increase. What if my number had become 120 or 54? First, we must ask ourselves, how much did it change by? Second, we ask ourselves, well, what percent is that? And then we must ask again, percent of what? Well, we want percent of the original. So this will be a 100% increase because it grew by 100%. This will be a 10% decrease because it decreased by 10%.